What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're talking the British and Irish Lions tournament. Obviously we've seen a few games get underway this past month, and it's been an interesting tournament. Obviously the Lions have dominated every single game that they've played. We've seen the Springboks play only one game against Georgia, but due to COVID-19 and the outburst that hit the Springbok squad, 24 I think players were infected with COVID, and therefore that game got cancelled. South Africa won't play again until they play the Lions in the first test, which is scheduled for week after next. Now there's been talk of whether or not this tournament should even actually continue. South Africa are still in stage 2 lockdown. The President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, spoke to the nation as he addressed the country, alerting that we will be indeed for another 2 weeks in the stage 4 lockdown, meaning no crowds, no gatherings, nothing. So it just goes to show that unfortunately this tournament is indeed not making the money that it once would have. Small businesses, guest houses, restaurants, hotels are losing out on a good opportunity of making millions from what usually is a very successful British and Irish Lions tour. Unfortunately not this year. You can also see the quality of rugby that SA Rugby have produced has not been up to standards. We saw the Sharks get dominated in 2 games in a row. Better performance in the second one, but still the Lions picking up 71 points. The Lions also took on the SA Lions, and that was also a point-scoring massacre of over 50 points. It's not been the prettiest. The most competitive game we are scheduled to see is when the British and Irish Lions take on a very powerful SA squad, almost like a Springbok squad. Almost like we're going to see 4 tests because of what they have named in this SA squad. Not complaining at all, because I think it's going to be entertaining and it's going to be quality rugby that we're going to witness from SAA, and it's going to give us a good idea. However, if they dominate the Springboks tomorrow, the SAA team, then we're surely going to know that this is not going to be a pretty one. It's going to give us an idea of where South African rugby is at the moment. It's going to give us an idea of how good we are, and it's also going to give us an idea of what we're going to see when the official 3 test starts. Then another negative form of is that South Africa have gone through a state of protesting riots throughout the country. It took over in KZN over the weekend due to protests in support of Jacob Zuma, former president of South Africa, who was arrested this past week. The protests have been violent, they've been brutal, they've destroyed shopping centres, households, workplaces, people's lives. We're already in a pandemic where restaurants have suffered, liquor stores are really suffering because no sale of alcohol during this level 4 lockdown. Businesses are struggling, communities are struggling, and now there is theft going on within these stores that have been vandalized and brutally attacked. Millions of rands has been taken away from these stores, and which means it puts more pressure onto these companies that are currently suffering. I think the question that we are all asking is it safe for the British and Irish Lions tournament to continue with the current raids that are going on in South Africa right now? So far it's just been Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. The President of South Africa is scheduled to address the nation at tonight at the time of this recording in about 2 hours' time, to give us an idea of what he's going to do, whether he's going to deploy state of emergency, the army, and then we'll have a better idea of what should happen. But as we lead on, I ask the question to you guys, should this tournament be allowed? I still feel it's still safe. I feel it's going to be in Cape Town. The government in Cape Town is different to the government that rules this country. So therefore there's more discipline and control within. So I think they're in a good spot in Cape Town. Cape Town is indeed one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and South Africa will do what they can to protect them. One thing's for sure is the country is aware of how important this tournament is. It is the second biggest tournament to the Rugby World Cup. It is a British and Irish Lions tournament that happens every 4 years. It happens and it comes back to your own respective country every 12 years. To wait another 12 years is a hell of a long time And who knows where we'll be in a form of sport, in a form of community, and in a form of a world that we're living in. 12 years ago, there was no such thing as COVID-19. 12 years later, it's disrupting every form of aspect of our lives. So the question is, where will we be? Where will the players be? Also, how strict are they with the bubbles that are currently affecting the British and Irish Lions as well as the Springboks? The Springboks caught of it with Loot de Jager getting COVID, 24 players else, if not more. So far, there was a scare in the British and Irish Lions camp, but luckily that test came back negative. So hopefully they can continue in their bubble with no incidents. But they need to be disciplined. SA Rugby need to put foot on them. The procedures and protocols that these guys need to follow. Because if they don't, one outburst will change the tournament. With 3 tests in a row, there's no more breaks, there's no more stoppages. It's going to be intense. So for me, British and Irish Lions tour should still continue. I feel we won't allow the country to get too far out of state, out of the current state it's in. I feel things will be done, procedures will be put in place. But again, that's just me talking. We still need to see the proof in the pudding from the government tonight when they announce what they're going to announce. So be sure to stay tuned, hit the subscribe button. We'll cover it all, and as soon as more updates come for the British and Irish Lions tour, I'll make sure I keep you guys up to date. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.
Go on. There's about 40,000 rand of stock. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Sure, 10 seconds.
Why?